August 1 Street, 1981, 12:01 a.m. A countdown ended, and music was never the same again. The first words you heard were, "Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll." Then came the image an astronaut planting the MTV flag on the moon. And then, that song. Do you remember where you were? Maybe you stayed up late that night. Maybe you heard about it the next day at school. But once MTV started, there was no going back. That grainy TV static, the sound of your parents yelling to turn it down, the glow of the television in your dark bedroom. The Buggles video killed the radio star. That was video number 1. And the irony? The song was about how technology kills the old ways. MTV was doing exactly that, killing radio's dominance. Before MTV, music was something you listened to. You'd wait by the radio with your finger on the record button, hoping to catch your favorite song on cassette. You'd stare at album covers, imagining what the band looked like, what they were trying to say. But MTV said, "Why imagine? We'll show you." And suddenly music had a face, a look, a whole visual world. But here's what nobody expected. MTV wasn't just going to play music videos. It was going to decide who became a superstar. Remember Michael Jackson's Thriller? 14 minutes long, a mini-movie. John Landis directed it. The guy who made An American Werewolf in London. MTV played it over and over and over. You could hear that creaking door, Vincent Price's sinister laugh echoing through your living room, your heart racing as Michael turned into a werewolf. MTV made Thriller, the biggest music video ever, and Michael, he became the king of pop. Partly because MTV put him in every living room in America, multiple times a day. Madonna's Like a Virgin at the 1984 Venus rolling around on stage in a wedding dress. Controversial? Absolutely. But MTV made her a household name overnight. And the VMAs themselves? The MTV Video Music Awards became bigger than the Grammys for our generation. Remember when Britney performed with that python? Or when Kanye interrupted Taylor Swift? Think about it. How many hours did you spend with MTV on in the background? While doing homework, getting ready for school, hanging out with friends on weekends? MTV wasn't just music, it was remote control, the game show where you won a trip by answering music trivia. It was Headbangers Ball on Saturday nights, your only chance to see Metallica and Guns N' Roses videos. Yo, MTV Raps brought hip-hop into suburban homes. Suddenly, kids in Iowa knew who Run DMC was. They were wearing Adidas and learning to breakdance. The sound of that beat dropping, the scratch of the turntable, Fab Five Freddy's voice introducing the next video. MTV Unplugged gave us a different side of our rock gods. Eric Clapton doing Layla acoustically, Nirvana in cardigans playing About a Girl. These weren't just concerts, they were intimate moments. And if you recorded these on VHS, you protected those tapes like treasure, because you never knew when MTV would play that video again. Maybe your MTV memory is simpler. Coming home from school, dropping your backpack, turning on the TV. MTV was already on because it was always on. Or maybe it's summer vacation 1987. You're at your friend's house. Their parents have cable, you don't. So you spend the entire day watching MTV, soaking it all in. The cold glass of Kool-Aid in your hand, the whir of the box fan in the corner, the carpet scratchy under your legs as you sat cross-legged, hypnotized. MTV taught us more than music. It taught us fashion members-only jackets, ripped jeans, big hair. It taught us attitude. It taught us that being different was cool. Maybe you remember the first time you saw yourself in a music video. Not literally, but you saw someone who dressed like you, talked like you, felt like you, and suddenly, you weren't alone. Then something shifted. Reality TV came. The Real World in 1992. 7 Strangers, 1 House. MTV found a new formula. By the 2000s, music videos were disappearing. TRL Total Request Live was the last gasp. Carson Daly counting down the top 10 while kids screamed outside in Times Square. Now, MTV barely plays music. It's Jersey Shore and Teen Mom. The M doesn't really stand for music anymore. YouTube took that crown. But for those of us who grew up with it, MTV will always mean one thing. That moment when the logo flashed, the VJ introduced the next video, and you turned up the volume. August 1 Street, 1981. That's when it started. A generation grew up with MTV as the soundtrack and the picture of their lives. Video Killed the Radio Star was the first video, but MTV killed something too, the old way of experiencing music. And maybe that's okay, because what we got instead, memories that still play in our heads, clearer than any video ever could. That fuzzy static when you changed channels. The excitement in your chest when your favorite video came on. The feeling of being part of something bigger. So here's to MTV. The channel that raised us. The channel that changed everything. What was your first MTV memory? The first video that made you stop and stare? Drop it in the comments, we want to hear your story. And if you want more trips back to those days, hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more where this came from.